So, let's have a look at some nightlight tricks in this short little video for beginners using Affinity Photo on the iPad. Now, the standard way is usually to do an adjustment layer and bring up brightness and contrast, and I'm sure we all know that, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. This gives you a new effect, as usual, a nice effect. But let me show you how to add beautiful glow and sharpness to your night shots, making them into real Blade Runner type photos. So the usual way is to add an adjustment layer and bring up brightness and contrast, as I mentioned. So let's have a look. Let's bring up an adjustment layer, brightness and contrast. Too easy. We'll just turn that off. Bit of brightness there. Let's bring the brightness up. Well, there's everything's becoming bright. Certainly bringing up the night sky. Let's just set that at 50. Bring up the contrast a bit. 30 is okay. Maybe a bit more contrast. 44. 56. No, bring the contrast down. Let's put that back at 40. That's the easiest way. Now, what we have there is a standard photo with a little bit of brightness and contrast added. But we can do better than that. But we can do better than just adding an adjustment layer. So, taking our image back to the start, firstly, let's duplicate our image layer. Now it's duplicated. Then set the mode of the layer to color dodge. Go to the layer mode, take it from normal to color dodge. There we go. And you can see we've now got the mode set to color dodge, and already it's brought up the colors very nicely. So with the color mode, with the mode set to color dodge, already we have nicer colors, a lot better than before. But how do we create the glow around our brighter areas? So let's go to opacity. There we go. And set the opacity to, let's say, 50%. There we go. And then duplicate the layer. We go back there. Now just check that that's 50% and that that's 50%. Okay, now we've got that one there. Both layers are 50% opacity. Select the second layer and apply some Gaussian blur. Now we want effects. We're on that second layer. Go to effects. You can see it's highlighted there. Turn on the Gaussian blur. Tap Gaussian blur. And there's our radius. That's the one we want. So let's bring up the radius a bit. 470. Let's make that 300. You can adjust this, of course, to suit your own image. Now let's go back to the layers, and there's the layer with the effects. Now that one's got Gaussian blur on it. You can turn it off and you can see already the difference it makes on, off, before and after. That one there, before and after. Let's turn them both off. There's our original image. We've applied the color dodge layer, the color dodge mode to that one. This one, we've applied the Gaussian blur, and you can see it's brought it up quite a good bit. Now that's brightened up that particular image. You could do the same with all sorts of images. Before we finish this tutorial, let's go and have a look at one I've done previously, and I call this one Blade Runner Effects. You can see there, brightness and contrast. Okay, that's the first thing that you apply. But let's get rid of that brightness and contrast. Simply delete that layer. Now there's that layer with nothing applied to it. What we'll do is simply duplicate the layer. There it is. Go to the layer. Reduce the opacity to 50% and set that layer to colour dodge. Third from the bottom there. You can see that there, colour dodge, and that just sharpened it up considerably. Before and after. And that's at 50%. Excuse me, bit of a frog in the throat. Let's duplicate that layer like we did with the last one and give it this hazy, this nice hazy effect that I like. There's the effects there. Fill opacity, Gaussian blur. And let's bring that up a bit. And you can see that it's slowly, that's quite a good deal there. You probably don't want it that much. You can go as high as you like, but it will take too much out of it. Let's set that at 300. That's better. Turn off the effects. Go back to there. Now let's have a look at the before and after. Before, after, before and after. Now that's already given it quite a strong effect. Very Blade Runner-ish. And you can enhance that by doing lots of things to that photo to even improve on that. But that's it for our little beginner's tutorial today. Don't just take adjustment with brightness and contrast. There are other ways of doing the same job and getting a much better effect. There we go.